Peppa Pig and the Painting Day. Peppa and George sat on chairs in the living room, drawing their pictures.
Wow!
Peppa started drawing a house. George drew a cat, both laughing happily. Peppa drew some trees. George drew a few clouds, together creating a colorful picture. Peppa and George added bright flowers around the picture, completing it. Peppa and George admired their artwork, laughing and showing each other their creations. Peppa and George walked into a forest full of colorful flowers. George discovered a small beehive on a branch and excitedly pointed it out to Peppa. Mommy Pig followed behind, reminding them, "Be gentle, don't scare the bees." Peppa and George picked a few flowers and put them in a small basket, smiling brightly. Daddy Pig brought a small cart to help them safely carry the basket of flowers out. Finally, the whole family stood in the flower forest, admiring the bright colors and laughing happily. Peppa and George, along with Mommy and Daddy Pig, arrived at the campsite where a campfire was burning brightly. Peppa and George sat around the fire, watching the flames and listening to the wind rustling through the trees. Daddy Pig roasted marshmallows on sticks and handed them out for the kids to enjoy. George ate the marshmallow and said it was the best treat he had ever had. Mummy Pig sang a cheerful song, and the whole family sang together and laughed under the campfire light. Finally, the whole family lay on the blanket, gazing at the starry sky, feeling peaceful and content together. Peppa Pig and the Muddy Picnic Day. Peppa and George packed the picnic basket with bread and juice, excited for the trip. Daddy Pig arrived and signaled the family to go out, everyone laughing happily. The family walked to the park. Mummy Pig spread the blanket under a tree, preparing a perfect picnic spot. Peppa and George ran around the grass, accidentally splashing into a big muddy puddle, mud flying everywhere. The whole family laughed. The family sat on the picnic blanket, eating bread and drinking juice, enjoying the sunny day and happy moments together. Peppa and George spotted a kite soaring high in the sky and decided to try flying their own kite. Peppa started running fast, pulling the kite up, but sometimes the wind just wouldn't cooperate. The kite flew high and spun around, making Peppa stumble. But George was ready to help. Together, they ran, keeping the kite stable in the wind. Finally, the kite flew high in the clear blue sky, and Peppa and George felt so proud. Although the adventure was a bit tough, Peppa and George knew that joy came from the simplest moments. Peppa and George were walking in the park when they spotted a small wooden bridge over a clear stream.
Wow!
Peppa stepped onto the bridge, but it wobbled a little, making her feel a bit uneasy. George stood behind, feeling a little worried. Mummy Pig walked up, holding their hands and gently reassuring them. Take it slow, don't worry. The three of them crossed the bridge together, and Peppa and George were excited to see sparkling stones in the stream below. When they reached the middle of the bridge, they paused, taking in the fresh air and enjoying the peaceful moment. Finally, the whole family stood at the end of the bridge, watching the flowing stream and surrounding trees, enjoying the simple joys of life. Peppa and George were walking through a colorful flower field, surrounded by bright sunflowers and white daisies. Peppa sat down, picked a daisy, and handed it to George, making both of them smile. George held the flower and tried to smell it, but suddenly a gentle breeze blew, making the flower float away. Peppa quickly ran after the floating flower, and George chased after her, both of them laughing. Mummy and Daddy Pig stood by, watching as the kids ran after each other in the flower field, happily watching them. Finally, Peppa and George sat under a big tree in the flower field, looking at the flowers and feeling the simple joy of nature. Peppa looked out the window and saw the rain, water pattering on the roof. Mummy Pig gave Peppa and George their rain boots and coats.
Hey!
Peppa and George jumped in puddles, splashing water everywhere, laughing happily. Daddy Pig joined in, jumping into the puddles with Peppa and George. The family jumped across many puddles, creating a playful rain of splashes. Peppa Pig and the backyard ball game. Peppa and George went to the yard with a big ball, Daddy and Mummy Pig cheering them on. Peppa kicked the ball. George ran to catch it, both laughing happily. Daddy Pig kicked the ball into the goal. Peppa and George shouted with excitement. George accidentally kicked the ball too hard. It hit a bush. Peppa and Daddy Pig giggled. The family stood in a circle, kicking the ball together, laughing and enjoying the afternoon. Peppa and George spotted a rolling wheel in the yard and decided the adventure started here. This wheel seems to never stop, and Peppa had to run fast just to catch up. Despite trying, George couldn't catch the wheel, but he could only laugh after every fall. The wheel didn't just roll fast, it also created a fresh breeze of flowers in the park. Finally, the wheel stopped, and Peppa and George realized that sometimes the best adventures are the simplest ones. And in the end, Peppa and George understood that sometimes letting things roll is the most fun of all. and George spotted a wooden bridge across a stream and decided to cross it. The wooden bridge seemed a bit wobbly, but Peppa is always the bravest one. Sometimes, even a leaf can throw off your balance, but Peppa never gives up. Halfway across, Peppa stops to admire the stream below, but George is worrying about her safety. The bridge shakes a little, but Peppa crosses it successfully. Now it's George's turn. Although George is a bit scared, Peppa is ready to help him face this challenge.